Hi everyone, it's Roger and Jeremy here from What's on Disney Plus. In this episode, we are going to be talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet, which was recently added to Disney Plus in the US and Canada after leaving Netflix. And we're going to do our review of this classic movie. This is a series that we do every single week where we kind of look back at some classic Disney content that's available on Disney Plus and give our thoughts on it. It's available early to patrons and YouTube channel members as a little perk, so you can become a member from as little as $2 a month and you can help support the channel. So let's jump into Ralph Breaks the Internet. What did you think of this one, Jeremy?
It was okay. It was not as good as WreckIt Ralph, whereas, WreckIt Ralph is dealing with older video games and there's a nostalgia feel. This one trying to do the internet with current things that are not going to be current here. I mean, it was 2018, so some of them are already dated and others are going to be, dated soon. So, there's a difference between classic and antiquated, and I think this one's going to be antiquated really fast. But from a plot standpoint, I understood it. It was fun. I like the characters of Ralph and Vanellope. And quite frankly, of the sequels that the main Disney animation studio has done, I liked it better than Frozen 2. I liked it better than Fantasia 2000. I liked it better than all of them except for Rescuers Down Under. So it's my second favorite sequel, but I would still just rather them hand off the sequels to one of the other studios and focus on original movies in the main studio, because they do those so much better than sequels.
The thing is, for me, is I absolutely loved Wreck-It Ralph. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. But I'm a video gamer since the 80s. I had the NES. I grew up playing, those kind of games. All the little Easter eggs in Wreck-It Ralph. I knew those characters. I knew who that is. I know what that is, and I got the in jokes. And because of that, that's one of the things I love about Wreck-It Ralph. And the trouble is with Ralph Breaks the Internet is they kind of took all that away. And then they kind of were like, here's Sonic, but now we're going onto the internet, and now the internet. Yeah, okay, so they did a little bit of online gaming and stuff. But generally, it was about the internet. And they kind of lost that kind of vibe of what Wreck-It Ralph was. It's like they took him away from where he was and took him in this whole. And I don't know, it just never. Watching it again yesterday morning, and they're going, oh, I won't be watching this one for a while. It was just like, I remember when it came out being like disappointed in it, and this again, watched it again, and it's fine. It's going to age bad. It's just going to age so badly because, I'm thinking now, like with my nephews, by the time, I think half the jokes are going to go right over the head because they're not going to understand what it is. And then by the time they get old enough to watch it, they might not even get those references because they no longer exist.
Right.
It's that kind of weird thing. I mean, like the standing joke of them being in the place where all the old things have died off. It's like, as someone that's, been on the internet, for the last like 25 years, I understand, I get all that references, but, a lot of kids don't get that. And, I mean, it was funny. I mean, I think on Twitter the other day, I made a joke about something with computers, and someone was like, I think it was like, an AOL disk or something like that. And someone was like, what? I'm like, oh, they don't even know what that is. And it's like something like that. Is it,
You've got mail.
Yeah. That's going to end up with this Ralph Breaks the Internet, and, the whole online gaming. I don't know. There's just this whole thing with this one. I was just going, there are certain scenes. I mean, I love the oh my Disney scene, even though it's very crude in terms of how they use that website. But I don't know. There was just this whole thing, and then them trying to become a YouTube famous kind of vaguely kind of felt more like like the minute with TikTok, because I was out somewhere yesterday and I was hearing a load of these adults all talking about how many followers they've got and how many followers their kids have got and getting likes and all the rest of it. And it's like, and having just watched Ralph Break the Internet, I was laughing to myself because it's actually like that scene of seeing it in person.
My wife just did a TikTok and did like one of her first or second TikToks. She's like, I've got 1,000 views, and I'm like, I don't know what you mean because I don't do TikTok, but I know. I got it was like BuzzTube, so it's kind of like a mixture of BuzzFeed and YouTube, and I watched it with my my wife and my both my boys, and my oldest son turned to me and was like, "Why are they going to eBay? Why not go to Amazon for the steering wheel?"
Yeah, because it's funny, really, because I think eBay. I mean, it was such a big thing for us, and like now it kind of. I mean, I personally use eBay so much less now than I
Oh yeah.
used to. And there used to be the whole thing of, it just used to be full of secondhand stuff, and I just over the years, you just use it less and less. And I got to the point of personally of every time I sold something, they always seem to go missing at the other end. And to the
Yeah.
point it was like, well, there's no point me selling anything at the moment because I'm constantly costing me more money. And that was my thing. It was like, I think I only had like 3 in a row of people losing stuff because obviously people had cotton on and like, yeah, this is ridiculous. But I mean, eBay just doesn't seem to have that same power that even it had 10 years ago.
Yeah. I've got like 1 or 2 things left that I've ever bought off eBay that I still have. I think I have like the 3 seasons of the original Star Trek series. And that's about all I have left from what I bought on eBay. And the last time I tried to sell anything on eBay, the person who won the auction never paid. So I never sent it out.
Yeah, things like that. And I found as well, like, obviously Ralph was very, very needy, very, and it was like they kind of turned him, and I'm like, like, I didn't like where they took him with the character. And obviously he had to turn around at the end, but it was like, well, why did this kind of came out of nowhere halfway through the movie and suddenly became a problem? And it's like, I don't remember this being an issue up to. That
He
was
kind of
one.
took away all of his character growth and
Yeah,
just gave him like, oh, here's some negative trait that you didn't actually have before,
yeah,
but you're gonna have it now just to drive this plot.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it just kind of got onto that, and I don't know. There was just the build up of all the other characters. They all kind of got through to the side. Fix It Felix Jr. They all just got thrown to the side as they went off and just
Yeah.
tried to make it too hip. And I still don't think it hit where they wanted to.
No, I would have loved to have gone back and seen what Fix It Felix and Sergeant Calhoun were doing with those racers who they basically identified them as feral. So, let's see how they managed to whip them into shape to where they were all nice by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I care more about that than I cared some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like did Disney like feel like they kind of done the video game and there wasn't anything left to do that, and rather than going into modern games, which then would have got into licensing as issues. But I'm just having a look here just to see how, technically the second movie actually pulled in more at the box office. It pulled in 529 million, where the first one only pulled in 471. So technically,
how does inflation affect that?
Yeah, the second one is technically a bigger box office draw. But yeah, I don't know. Just as a whole, it just wasn't what I was looking for, and was slightly disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it in the moment, but it's not one I'm gonna rush back to. But like I said, most of the sequels that they've done, I don't rush back to those, with the exception of The Rescuers Down Under.
Well, I think the thing is, isn't it? I mean, I still think that with Frozen 2 was just kind of, did you watch that Into the Unknown documentary?
I did. I liked the documentary more than I liked Frozen 2.
I just kind of
I like the Lego Frozen.
Sorry, I kind of was like watching that through and going, they don't know what they're doing. They've got no story. They're making it up as they go along, and kind of reminded me a bit like with Ralph Breaks the Internet, because it kind of was all over the place in terms of the whole with him taking on the virus and stuff. It's like, well, why do we need the virus to seem to, I don't know, it just seemed a bit unnecessary at the end. It's like, oh, we haven't actually had a villain. Well, I don't know. That was just my one little thing. I kind of
I didn't get the need for the virus in there. I feel like now that with Disney Plus, where they're a lot of times when they build on their franchises, they're moving towards series. This is something they could put a Wreck-It Ralph series in there for kids and capitalize on it that way, rather than just sending a movie to the theaters that may financially was a success, but critically, I mean.
Yeah, it didn't quite pull it in, but nevertheless, we'd love to know your thoughts of Ralph Breaks the Internet. I keep wanting to say Wreck-It Ralph, but yeah, send us your thoughts on Ralph Breaks the Internet in the comments below. Remember as well, you can go check us out over at what's on disneyplus.com. You can like, follow, and subscribe, and you can find the audio version on our main podcast feed as well. Again, just a huge thank you to our supporters over at Patreon and YouTube channel members who get this a little bit earlier as a perk of being a member. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys soon. Laters.
Bye.